decided to go his own way. They were staying in the family's summer house on the island of Fora, and her father had died 2 days earlier. Astrid was traumatized and in a state of shock, so much so that later in the fall she found herself staring at the wall of a psychiatric ward for several days. It was only when her sister Sandra leaned over her as she was sitting in a hospital armchair and shouted that she needed to pull herself together that Astrid listened. Victor needed her. 3 years later, Henrik put his arms around Astrid with sweet tenderness, and she has rested within his healing embrace ever since. Their 2 daughters, Sarah and Josephine, are now 12 and 14. Henrik wanted to adopt Victor, and Michael agreed. At that moment, Astrid finally let Michael go. When Victor got a little older, he saw Michael occasionally, whenever some friend or family member was able to accompany him across the Atlantic to New York City, where Michael now lives. When Michael learned he was going to spend a year working for an architecture firm in Copenhagen, he sent an email asking to see Victor more often. The graduation celebration will be the first opportunity of many, and as a graduation present, he intended to invite Victor to visit him in Copenhagen. Astrid and Henrik agreed it would be good for their son to know Michael better. Henrik, in particular, felt it was time. The strong flavor of the last cheese sample pulls Astrid back to the present. "This one is great," she says, feigning enthusiasm. There's no point in standing here any longer, trying to make sense of something that happened so long ago. All she has to do is make her selection and continue on with what she's already started. No more confusion. She simply wants to get it over with. 2 days later, and the big moment has arrived. The flags are flapping in the breeze in the schoolyard. The lilac blossoms droop, heavy with rain from last night. Now the sun is shining again, but there's a slight chill in the air on this June day. Here and there, big clouds appear, swollen and cold as marble. Earlier in the morning, Astrid snapped at everyone in her family for different reasons. At Sarah because she set a sticky cup of chocolate milk on the freshly cleaned coffee table. At Josephine because she insisted on wearing her ragged Converse sneakers. And at Henrik because he kissed her on the forehead and told her everything would be fine. Of course, why shouldn't it be fine? Astrid wonders. His concern feels like sabotage, undermining her carefully constructed corset of self-control. Does he really think she is capable of relaxing enough to accept any form of comfort and kindness right now? Has Michael arrived? Astrid turns her head away from the entrance of the school, where Victor will soon appear, and casts a glance at the gate to the schoolyard. As is the custom, she's holding a photograph of him on a congratulatory poster. It feels like a shield, as if to say, Victor is ours, and we are everything he could ever possibly want or need. Henrik slips his hand under her long hair, and his touch feels surprisingly good. Astrid realizes he reinforces her armor rather than weakening it, and she leans into the loving gesture. Henrik still has a hard time keeping his eyes off her. "When is Victor coming out?" Sarah asks. "Maybe another 10 minutes or so." Henrik is the one who answers Sarah's question, and Astrid allows his calm voice to ease her nerves. He's a rock. He's her rock, the man she can lean on and turn to for warmth, the person who affirms the solid strength of their family life. Why did she allow herself to forget this? Astrid's sisters, Sandra and Lena, come into the schoolyard, along with Sandra's husband, Per, who seems as though he may have had a drink or 2 already, and their mother, Kerstin. Under her crisp poplin coat, Kerstin is wearing her best suit, made of turquoise silk from Thailand, and a gold brooch shaped like a butterfly with tiny emerald eyes. Her hair flutters in the breeze. Over the years, her determination to increase the volume of her bouffant hairdo by teasing the strands intensified, while her ability to smooth them down afterward diminished. Consequently, her hair often looks like circus horse plumes, waving in all directions. Astrid hugs her sisters and mother a bit stiffly, feeling self-conscious about her own appearance. Lena is wearing something chic, as usual, presumably one of her own creations. Her dark sunglasses hide her eyes, but her lips are pursed. Lena is the youngest.